Well, hello you gorgeous mother truckers, you from a very cold and frosty Midlands. So, the Booming Bang scandal continues to rumble on. In fact, today at the time recorded, which is Wednesday the 8th in the afternoon, I think it is. So probably before this video actually comes out, they are going to be holding a vote in Parliament about a national inquiry into the Booming Bangs, or the Gaperangs. Keir Starmer allegedly has told all Labour MPs that they are to vote against an inquiry with the threat of removing the whip. For those of you who live anywhere other than the UK, or if you're not sure what that means, when you get elected to Parliament as an MP, you get given something called the whip, which is like your right to be there for that party. So if they withdraw the whip, you then cease to be a member of whatever said party it is, and you become an independent. So basically, Keir Starmer is saying, do as I say or I'll sack you, for all intents and purposes. When they don't actually lose their job in Parliament, they just lose their position and place in the party. So that just shows you how desperate, as the video before was talking about how they're going to make sure they're trying to rig the electoral system. That's how desperate they are to hang on to power. That's how desperate Stalin is to enforce his will. And the problem is because Labour have such a huge majority, even though only 20% of the electorate voted for them, but we have a very crappy, shitty first past the post system in this country, they've got a vast majority, so whatever comes goes. They can do what they want. Now, the big questions which should be raised by all of this, especially by the absolute sheer determination of not only the Labour Party itself, but the media, as Channel 4 ran a programme about the lying children of the grooming scandal. That was the title of the show, so I'm going to call it, which actually focused on one single girl who did lie out of the thousands who didn't, just again to discredit anyone saying anything about the scandal. So the media, even now, are still being 100% complicit in covering up the rape and sexual abuse of children. And you can see that with all the reports, because it's all about, oh, well, Elon Musk. Yeah, so doing what you're doing, which is basically covering it up, because you won't talk about the actual thing, the actual issue, because that's just too much, because you still want to cover that up. I mean, let's be honest, some of the things you read, and I'm going to, as diplomatically as possible, explain one situation where a young girl was taken into a room and she had her butt expanded by a pump so 10 men could sodomise her. That's me trying to, and I'm just skating roughly over it. Okay, I mean, I can't go any further than that, because I'm a father and I'm a grandfather, and and I'm a father to 3 daughters, and I don't actually know how I would feel if that happened to mine. So I'm being as broad stroked as possible with that statement, because so why are and then you get all that and all this, which of course, due to Keir Starmer, is misinformation being spread around. I mean, the thing is, you can't have misinformation when people are just sharing stuff from actual criminal investigations and inquiries, but they don't want to talk about it. So why don't they want to talk about it? Why is there such a determination by both the media and politicians to cover this up still, and to go into literal sheer panic mode because it's been brought up again? makes you wonder whose hard drives we need to be checking. Remember that Harriet Harman, who recently was going on about, or Elon Musk, the other man, was actually part of a group called Pi, who were trying to reduce the legal age of sexual consent to, I think it was 13. This thing goes so deep. It is without doubt involving lots of people in very high places, and there's clearly a lot to go on with it because of the determination to blame the far right, to point fingers at Elon Musk, to tell and in fact insist that all your MPs do as they're told and vote against an inquiry. Why won't you have an inquiry? It's very interesting. I mean, does that mean how many of you diddled? It's because if you're so determined to stop it happening, that's the message you can send out. You know, why are you so worried? It's not going to affect you. But then again, it's also because they don't see us, the working class, as anything other than plebs and scum. And they don't care because it's not their kids getting involved. And it's like the same thing with immigration. They're not bothered because it's not on their doorstep and they haven't got to deal with it. So there isn't a problem, because that's their mental thought process and all of this. And then, of course, you get good old Jess Phillips, the safeguarding minister, who's only safeguarding Alan Snackbar and rapists, because refusing to have an investigation into Oldham says that that's what you're doing. And we all know why Jess is doing it, because in the last election she only held on to a seat in Yardley, which is just up the road from me, by 600 votes from a Free Plasticine movement campaigner, who, when she took her acceptance speech, went on about how much they've been vile to her, but never actually said who it was. And then when pressed, went, well, it's just men. Because Jess really thinks that by doing what she's doing and licking Alan Snackbar's ass, that's going to secure her position. It just really isn't. It genuinely isn't. Because remember, Jess, by you doing what you're doing, you're alienating the remaining 600 people. So next time there's an election, you're in trouble. And remember that 4 Free Plasticine movement MPs actually got voted in. And they're on the rise. And once they get their shit together and get their own party, that'll be the end of that. But for her to go on TV and go, my world's been turned upside down because of Elon Musk. Elon Musk this, who doesn't know what he's on about. Well, Elon is quoting things that are freely available in the media and press, and actual reports from what actually happened. So that means he does understand. But of course, it's about making you the victim, isn't it, Jess? It's all about you're the victim in this. Oh, woe is me. You're supposed to be safeguarding women and children, and you're doing none of that. All you're doing is safeguarding your own ass. Anyone who goes, oh, there shouldn't be a national inquiry, or oh, you're far right if you believe this, you're rape apologists. And also reasons why all this shit happened in the first place, where you're prepared to turn a blind eye to the abuse of children and the vile rape of children just for the sake of what? So you can't be called racist and you'll look good in the eyes of the world, yeah? Really? Is that what it is, Jess? Is that what it is, Jess? And is that what it is, all you idiots apologising for these people? Because it is. And why would you be so against finding out who covered up the abuse of children and prosecuting them? Or is it the free spaces in prison, remembering that a lot of the people who committed these atrocities are already out of prison, and 2 of them are just coming up for parole, so they'll be out, making room for people like me who have the common audacity to point that out, because that's the country that I live in. Any case, enough of that. 2 videos popping up on the screen. One will be the last one I uploaded, another one will be the one that the gods of YouTube will have decided, using their mighty algorithm, that you need to watch. So why deny the mighty algorithm? 86% of you who are watching these videos unsubscribe. Why? I don't know. Why don't you? It's free. You're not going to get into trouble for following me. I ask nothing more than that. Other than, if you like this video, do so. If you want to pass comment section is down below, ready for you to use if that's what you so desire and wish to do. It all helps the channel, and it means that more people get to hear the message. I know there's hundreds of people doing the same thing. Well, we need thousands, if not millions, of people doing the same thing. Because if we're all shouting from the rooftops about these things, then maybe something will change. Any case, enough of that. I'm done. So, until the next one.